I won't be 100% on the night. You will.
Say you won't be?
No, I won't.
Oh, come on, mate.
I won't.
I see. You know what that screams? That screams excuses. I come here for a fucking shootout, right? A proper shootout with some proper men.
You know what they say about the bigger they are, didn't you?
You won't mind if I fight back, will you? Like Colonel Custer and Geronimo. Have you ever heard of them? No. Because you were too busy in your penny baking fucking fairy cakes, weren't you?
You're taller than I thought you'd be.
Ain't gonna make no difference, mate.
Conor Benn fights next. Speculation about
there's a lot of options on the table. Furman, Broner.
Did he go maybe have an Eastern European title shot? We've been asking about that. Love it. Love the Eubank fight. What Conor Benn does have is options.
Conor Benn. I am my dad's son, for the good and the bad. Biggest rivalry in British boxing.
If I'm waiting, for as long as I'm waiting,
we all know what we're in for here. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
There comes a time in every fighter's career when he must risk everything.
A fight that will always be ingrained in the history of the sport in this country.
He's ready to step up. He is unquestionably ready to step up.
Like Johnny on the spot, either you on it or you're not.
You playing the underdog card. Oh yeah, they're challenging me.
I don't think I'm the underdog.
That's the card you're trying to play.
No. Cause this life ain't for the faint-hearted or the half-hearted. How many managers departed? Man, give a boy a side parting when it's 9's clock.
He believes he can go out there and stop me. He says he can be the first man to do that. You've got balls, kid. You've got some big old balls.
You'll find out, mate. Oh. Don't you worry about that. You'll find out.
Eubank Jr. will reignite his father's old World Championship rivalry with Nigel Benn when he faces his son Conor at the O2 Arena in London on October 8th.
Good luck against fucking Eubank, son.
Go on, mate.
You do it, yeah?
Go on, sir.
I don't even dislike Conor. He hasn't done anything to me personally, but at the same time, this fight is personal.
On that particular night in question, I will show that I have what it takes. This man is nothing but, he's the real hype. I come up the hard way. I didn't have
prove myself, boy.
You had your time. Let's have some parliamentary procedure here, all right?
Oh, God.
And why won't you face him tonight?
I'll face the man in the ring. I can face him. I'm speaking to you. You're asking me questions.
Anytime.
You're asking me questions. I'm being polite and I'm facing you. I'm looking in your face. I have nothing to say to Nigel.
I have to say, there seems an element of genuine hate between these two, Ambrose.
For sure.
The Eubank-Benn rivalry between Chris Sr. and Nigel in the 90s was one of British boxing's greatest, and the two sons will reignite the feud on October 8th at the O2 Arena.
The man is a powerful puncher, a very powerful puncher. For this, I would like his autograph, because after I've finished with him, he isn't going to be anybody.
And despite bringing in Roy Jones Jr. as his head coach for the past few years, Eubank Jr. insists he wants his dad back in his corner for this fight in particular.
Oh, that was a shot, Reg. Well, Eubanks has taken that one, Reg, so he can take a shot. That was the one.
Yeah, I mean, my dad made the first fight. He made the second fight. He wanted to make the third fight. They couldn't get that fight made because it was very personal.
The things that his father put my father through, I can't forgive and I can't forget. And I grew up, you know, I watched the mental stress.
I don't know, I'm in too much pain to talk, really. What? Pain? I'm in too much pain to talk.
And the toll it took on him preparing for those fights. I watched the injuries and my mother having to look after him after the fights. And
I'd been winded two or three times, which leaves you exhausted anyway. My ribs were bruised. I urinated blood for probably 2-3 days.
I'm not a sore loser. I was just very disappointed losing to him because I didn't like him.
Him going to hospital and him losing half of his tongue.
Boom, and he's hit me with this uppercut. It was like a half-inch gash in my tongue. And if I would have told the referee or my corner that I was swallowing all this blood, or they would have seen that cut, the fight would have been stopped in accordance to the fact that blood curdles. and that could have stopped me breathing.
You know, I watched Nigel tell my father on national TV that he hated him.
All right, gentlemen, you both signed the contract.
I personally do hate him. I personally do hate him.
So is there any point in me asking you to shake hands after signing the contract?
No.
You know, these are all things that I can't forget, I can't forgive.
I gave you your name, son. Now, write it into history once again.
How the fuck you gon' change up? You say you can't claim us. How you gon' play with me?
It's mad to think you can walk through me, you know.
You've got to be confident, eh?
Yeah, delusional, yeah.
We're both just a bunch of delusional motherfuckers, eh?
How the fuck you call me fake? And they don't be around. How the fuck you say you love me? But they don't see about this fake love, this fake love, this fake love. All this fake love, this fake love. I held the fake bros. I gave you fake hugs. Handshake with no love. Forge our hair fake stubs. They said we can't come.
There comes a time in every fighter's career when he must risk everything to pursue a dream. For you, that time is now.
They never support us, and they never
With
take orders.
the Eubanks, it's always difficult.
They try to tax for quarters like they don't know my story.
You have to understand the dynamic between our family and senior.
I loved Eubank, no question. I think he's a very special guy. I mean, he's infuriating, he's eccentric, slightly mad, but I would not have swapped a minute with Chris Eubank. I think it's fair to say Ronnie Davis and me would have taken a bullet for Eubank.
This is a trade. This is a trade. Some call it inhuman flesh.
That sort of fight, and just listen to the crowd.
Fight you. People say you're difficult, Mr. Eubank.
It was one of the biggest sporting events we've seen in this country since the war.
When they say got you ain't deep in what they mean. So I laugh when I hear them say we're beefing.
These men, my son fighters, they do a noble job. Okay, and as Adam Booth once said to me, in a stadium, the only two honest people, if you lift the roof off of the stadium, the only two honest people are the men fighting. Why am I difficult? Because I've been misled by the people who control. Because I've been mismanaged. I'm never gonna allow that to happen to my boy. Never. You can't move me. I'm not going anywhere.
Don't let me shoot like comes in a dean. Everybody's bad until they start leaking. Me, I'm in the ocean where the sharks deep in. 360 gets my heart beating. I mean my heart breaking. I can't explain the feeling.
All I wanted to do was just nail him good. As long as hit him in the body, I knew it was hurting him. I knew it was hurting him because he was just covering up so good his body.
We're going to do it for Eubank. Oh, maybe the writing on the wall now for the challenger. The body shots clearly hurting him.
This is a fight where both our family names are on the line. And we have to uphold those names to the best of our ability. We're both going to do that. That's where it makes it personal.
I would have had it with him any time, anywhere. That's how much I detest him.
Nigel is his shot at, you know, his losses being avenged is Conor beating me.
Come and fight me. Give the public what they want to see. Not all these John Jarvis who's had 7 fights in 7 years. Fight someone like me who's been fighting all the time and who wants to have a fight with you.
If we wondered whether Eubank could take a shot, we're finding out tonight. He's talking to Ben now, taunting him.
Yeah, well, come on in, let's go for it.
I got you. No, you haven't. Yes, I have.
Yeah, got you, man.
Nah,
No, you never. Oh, you did.
Look at
that. Wicked fun in my eye.
Ben smiles through the pain.
Pricking me with a needle in my eyes, like pain just shooting up to my head all the time. And I just couldn't get wide of it because I don't know what eye it was, but wherever the punches were coming, I couldn't see them coming. And, you know, you just feel something. You think, God, that hurt.
That's the only way he can ever avenge those losses. That's the only way he can kind of redeem himself. All right, well, my son beat his son. That will help him sleep better at night. I can't let him get those extra hours of sleep. You know, I can't do that to my old man. I have to uphold the family name. I have to do what's right. I have to make sure that the Eubank name stays on top of the Benn name. You know, I'm not letting the Benn name even the score.
At the end of the day, it's not my job to worry about what he thinks or what he does or, you know, his team and how he's approaching this. I worry about what I got to do. And, you know, I've always worried about what I got to do, irrelevant of everyone else and what they're doing. I'm focused on delivering October the 8th, and I ain't failed to deliver. I ain't tasted a loss, and I don't plan on taking a loss October 8th.
Me winning this fight clarifies and cements the Benn legacy, in my opinion. The last fight I believe my dad should have won.
I tell you what, there's no loser out there tonight. I had Ben just about ahead. I think from memory, even a point, just one round ahead.
When they were announcing the decision, he was looking at me, I was looking at him. And I said to him, listen, you know, all this bad feeling that we're supposed to have, let's just get out the winner now, you know. Regardless of the decision, give me a hug.
114 to 114, even a draw, the decision.
Yes, it's a draw.
Well, draw.
Thought Ben won it.
I mean, the whole world believes that.
It's got to be a draw. I think, you know, some people might have a word and some people dare. Just walk straight out of the ring. Oh, for someone coming packing back, say, oh, Nigel, oh, go on, get away.
So, you know, the fact that it was a draw, you know, it's time for the Suns to sell the business and set the score straight. And, you know, I believe without a shadow of a doubt I'm going to have my hand raised at the end of this.
You can't make it up. You know, two legends fighting, biggest fight in Britain, and then their sons fighting 30 years later. It's never happened before, and it will never happen again. And that's what excites me about this.
When you're talking about a real scrap, this is it.
You keep thinking about excuses, though. No, you don't hear me coming out with one excuse. Oh, you know, he's a heavier weight and I'm taking the gown. I can't give a rat's ass. I think I can beat you, I'll beat you. Okay. Forget the weight. Forget everything else, me jumping up 2 weights. If I think I can beat you, I'll beat you. That's why I've taken this fight. Don't hear me going, you know, I'm only going to be 40% because you're two weights heavier.
On October 8th, you know, I'm going to liquidate you. I am going to do that. And everyone's going to see it. But it's okay. You're taking a shot at greatness, and I do respect that. You've got to take your beating to get to where you want to get to, and this is the time that I think that you're going to have to take a beating to get to where you want to get to.
I'm going to go for it, and I'm going in. If I see a slight opening, I'll take him out. You know, he needs quality sparring. That's what he needs. He needs to focus. He needs to stop worrying about everything else.
This fight has absolutely everything, from bitter rivalry, past experience pain, and childhood memories of the family feud to even the honor of upholding the legacy of their names. The unsettled business that the two fathers Benn and Eubank left in the ring raised two new dangerous lions that were born rivals looking to settle the score. Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. faced off twice in the early 1990s, with Eubank winning their first bout to claim the WBO middleweight title.
It was so ferocious, I thought maybe if he keeps on at this pace, I'll have to stop.
The body punch is going to do it for Ben. The right hand are going to do it for Eubank. Clearly hurting him.
The second fight was also highly anticipated, and a lot of the fans thought Nigel Benn nicked the win, but was unfortunate to end in a draw. It was one of the best rivalries in boxing history, and now their sons will look to continue it.
14, even a draw, the decision.
Yes, it's a draw. Well, we thought when...
Conor the Destroyer Benn remains unbeaten in his career with 21 straight wins and saw off Chris Van Heerden last time out in April.
Still I keep it tough. It's like whenever you win it, they don't want to see you up. Riding dirty with these hoes that we ain't break no. Getting money now, I never forgot that I found my way. I got niggas I lost, you couldn't find a way. We was out there on the corner all night.
Destined for a world title shot soon, but will first look to take out great rival Eubank Jr.
We're gonna push some buttons today, baby.
Next gen Eubank Jr. boasts a record of 32 wins and 2 losses and was impressed with his win over Liam Williams on the last outing.
I feel that life's always tested me. Place your bets on me. This was my destiny.
Both fighters have holes in their resume. Eubank Jr. has taken shocking losses that left a big impact on him as a fighter and as an upcoming great. It was Joe Saunders that first threw the spanner in the works.
And still, the British, European, and common.
The second was George Grove.
I'm really glad that this is a really tough fight for you, because if you win it, the victory is so much sweeter.
Conor Benn is the bright up-and-coming prospect, who is still undefeated with a record of 21 wins, 14 ending in knockouts, but has not had any real worthy competitors to define his status as one of the best just yet.
And he did to the Mexican what the Mexicans normally do to us.
But both fighters are just as exciting to watch.
Stepping in to come collect my phone. The plane's Jane, but I wanna need to lick my phone. So I'm glad that I found my way. I got niggas I lost, you couldn't find a way.
However he approaches it, I'm gonna go in there and do what I gotta do. And I'm confident beating any man.
If I got nothing, at least I got my faith. So there's no fear in me, that's a key they rate. I keep my head up. Yeah, and he spread it out.
It will not go 12 rounds. I don't think he can live with me for 12 rounds.
I'm fed up. Telling me that I'm next up.
Eubanks is used to taking punches from super middleweights and with smaller gloves.
I don't see the grade and the pedigree that people have been are giving him. But that's the exciting thing, you know. He has an opportunity to prove me wrong. He's his father's son. These guys they're hotheads.
Anybody out there wants to fight with me, let's get it on.
Conor he's on a hot streak. He's been knocking guys out. He's young. He's fiery. They believe in themselves. That's how you have to be a fighter. He's hungry. That is his danger. Is the mindset that he has. He hasn't had a loss. He doesn't know how to lose yet.
Yeah.
That makes him dangerous. But my experience, my tenacity, my chin, my technique, it's just going to be too much for him.
I know what I'm made of. I know what I can do.
30 years on from their iconic father's second showdown at Old Trafford. An unmissable event for fight fans around the world. Eubank Jr. versus Benn promises to be one of the most electrifying British boxing contests in decades as the sons of two of the sport's most famous names battle it out in an incredible second-generation showdown. Now one of the hottest properties in world boxing, Benn dares to be great by leaping up in weight to challenge himself against former super middleweight world title challenger Eubank Jr. in a fight that will bring the UK to a standstill.
Father like son.
Thanks for watching Boxing Stars. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can also hit the bell button if you don't want to miss our latest episodes.